lovely listeners, and welcome to Let's Read, the podcast where we dive headfirst into fantastic stories, unravel their mysteries, and maybe even giggle a little along the way. I'm your host, Moonbeam, and I'm so excited to share our very first adventure with you today. You know, sometimes you're just minding your own business, maybe chatting online with a friend, talking about I don't know, a tiny little loophole in a brand new video game your company just made, and then bam, you're in a whole new world. That's exactly what happens to our protagonist in today's novel, My Disciple Died Again. And let me tell you, this is a title that promises some serious shenanigans. Today, we're kicking things off with Chapter 1, A Peasant Woman, a River, and a Little Field. Now, before we even start, that title has a super interesting backstory. Apparently, back in the day, a girl's dream was to be a peasant woman, live by a river, and have a small field. Cute, right? Let's see if our main character, Zhu Yao, finds this dream quite as charming. So, imagine this. Zhu Yao, a total tech geek, is chilling, holding her computer mouse, probably in her PJs, when suddenly, poof, she's in a thatched hut. No CPU, no monitor, no keyboard, just a very worn-out table. 10 minutes go by and she's just bewildered. Can you imagine? 1 minute you're talking about game bugs, the next you're in what looks like ancient times. But before she can fully process her new reality, the door bursts open and a hand comes flying at her. She dodges, and her precious mouse, her last link to her old life, goes skittering across the floor and vanishes. And who is this attacker? A super skinny woman with deep creases and faded clothes, practically screaming, "I'm a peasant woman," from her ancient style attire. Zhu Yao understandably asks her, "Who are you?" And this woman, who turns out to be her new mother, absolutely flips out. "I'm your mother. Why are you still sitting around? Get up and boil some water." Before Zhu Yao can even explain that she's a world traveler who doesn't know how to boil water, she's practically dragged into the kitchen. Now, Zhu Yao is looking at a mountain of firewood and a clay furnace, still in her pajamas, by the way, and she's thinking, okay, my world crossing method is definitely broken. She came over with her body, but she's got a whole new mother and family history. And the biggest problem? She has no idea how to start a fire. This techno geek who spent her life safeguarding a super popular online game called Age of Immortals is utterly useless in this rustic setting. Can you feel her frustration? She's basically yelling internally, "Which bastard made me cross over? Come out! I promise I won't beat you to death." Though, knowing her, she probably would beat them to death. Fast forward 3 months, and Zhu Yao has settled into this new life, sort of. She's in Zhu Village, where everyone's last name is Zhu. Go figure. Her name is Zhu Yao, and her mother is a widow. They've apparently been relying on each other for decades. Zhu Yao even tried explaining her origins with hand-drawn pictures, but her mother thought she'd gone mad and dragged her to Dr. Wong for jabs. And let me tell you, Dr. Wong sounds like a character. He's got a kind face and a beard, but he pulls out dozens of needles with the thickness of a thumb. Zhu Yao, terrified, instantly gives up her integrity, hugs her mother, and bursts into tears declaring, "Mother, you're my biological mother." Her mother, pleased, thinks Dr. Wong is a genius, and Dr. Wong, being the humble guy he is, offers more jabs for insurance. Zhu Yao's internal monologue is basically, "Your sister will relapse," which, for those not in the know, is a delightful way of saying, "Your mom is fat." Classic. So, after that traumatic experience, Zhu Yao decides to ditch the "I'm from another world" talk and just live peacefully as an old Missy in Zhu Village. Yes, old Missy. At 28, unmarried, she's considered ancient. Luckily, her mother never pushes the marriage issue, and Zhu Yao is relieved. No surprise husband showing up out of nowhere, thank goodness. She says she'd rather be stabbed with a wooden club by Dr. Wong than get married. That's dedication. One day, as she's heading to the riverside to do laundry, who does she bump into? none other than Dr. Wang, with a smile like a sunflower, which smelled like chrysanthemum. Now, this is a fun idiom. It means he's got some hidden intentions, a little something sneaky behind that smile. Zhu Yao instinctively backs away, clutching her laundry basket like a shield, fearing a sudden needle attack. Dr. Wang, all apologetic, introduces her to a little boy, about 7 or 8 years old, with an adorable pouting face. He wants Zhu Yao to take his child to the city because deities are coming to select disciples, and his wife is ill. Zhu Yao, being the good-hearted person she is, and probably because she's stuck in this world anyway, agrees to help. But here's where things get really interesting. After Dr. Wang happily takes her laundry basket and pushes the grumpy little boy her way, the boy flings her hand away and with contempt says, "Let me tell you this, even if you help me, I will not marry you." Zhu Yao is stunned, then amused. She pinches his cheeks and calls him a little wimp, but he doubles down. He's heard that no one in the village dares to marry her, that she's infertile and will ruin their lives by cutting off their lineage. Now, hold on a minute. Zhu Yao, who gets yearly checkups, knows she's not infertile. She's thinking, God, why do you have to rationalize my world crossing this desperately? The little wimp, full of himself, declares he's the only son and will not marry her. Oh, this is where Moonbeam gets excited. Zhu Yao, a GM, a bug fixer, a woman who promises not to beat you to death. Rolls up her sleeves, she scoops up the little wimp and with her other hand gives his bottom a sound smacking. This is what you get for having no manners. This is what you get for spouting nonsense. This is what you get for calling me infertile. You're infertile. Your entire family is infertile. A dozen slaps later, the little boy's bottom is bright red and he's crying his eyes out. Zhu Yao is just thinking, cry louder. Dr. Wang is far away. She is getting some serious satisfaction out of this. After about half an hour, she finally lets him go, his face tear-streaked, and she gives him a final warning. If you're impolite again, I'll make sure you won't be able to get off your bed. She thinks this sounds a little strange, and I agree, but it's effective. And then she tells him to follow her to the city. The little wimp, still limping, follows her, his lips pouted so much you could hook a kettle onto them. This, my friends, is how Zhu Yao, our modern-day techno-geek, navigates her new ancient world, starting with a smackdown. Whew, what an introduction to Zhu Yao's new life. From debugging games to smacking the sense into a spoiled brat, her journey is already off to a hilarious start. I can't wait to see what other unscientific things she encounters on her path to, well, whatever her path in this new world holds. Join me next time on Let's Read as we continue our adventure with My Disciple Died Again. Will Zhu Yao find her way back to her own world? Will she ever escape Dr. Wang's needles? And what exactly will happen when they meet these deities in the city? Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss an episode. And until next time, happy reading and keep those pages turning. Bye for now.